right, we'll start with opening comments from Coach and then open up the questions.
New season, everyone's 0-0. One game at a time. We open up on Thursday, and we won't know until after Wednesday game between South Carolina and Ole Miss who we would play. And obviously in a tournament setting, we always talk about that first game, how you're going to come out and how you're going to play. And we have some guys that playing in their first SEC tournament. The good thing about it is we had a chance to play early in the year at the PK80 in a tournament setting very similar to this here. So hopefully it gave our guys a little idea of how that format works. And I just think at this time of the year, our team is playing really good basketball. We kind of stumped our toe at Missouri. We had a window there where they went on a 12-2 run, and I thought that was a big difference in the games. And I thought defensively we had some missed assignments, put them on the free throw line too many times. And we talked about it. You got to shoot as many free throws as your opponent does on the road. But as we embark upon this new season, I think our guys are really excited about playing in St. Louis. And hopefully I got 4 suits. And I get to use all 4 suits. And the way you do that is you take it one game at a time. And the beauty of that is that's been our narrative all year long. Let's control the things we can control one game at a time. And of course, the big news obviously is Dustin Thomas is no longer on this basketball team. And I've already put the statement out there in terms of things I expect. And team rules are very important. There's standards here. And all our guys are going to abide by them. So, but we have the ultimate team. So if your question is about that there, hopefully I already answered it. And it's the next guy up. That's how I would a team. The next guy up, who is going to be that guy? We got guys such as Adriel Bailey, who's started at times, Gabe Usaborn, who's played really, really well for us at times, more minutes for the other guys that are playing. Darius Hall, C.J. Jones. So that's why I say it's important for all these guys to get quality minutes throughout the year, because you never, ever know in a season. Guys may get hurt. You may have foul trouble. Somebody got to step up to the plate, and then we got to keep it going right down the middle of the road. Keep that car running down the middle of the road and running really efficient. So, but we're excited about it. We're looking forward to really participating in the SEC championship, in the SEC tournament.
All right, then we'll get a mic to you.
Yeah, Mike, but how tough is it losing a starter, whether it's Dustin, whoever it might be? How tough is it to lose a senior starter right when you're going into postseason?
It's one of those deals. It's like in the game, Bob. You have some adversity take place, and hopefully that means your team rally. Somebody gets an opportunity. I think that's all it is. Somebody's misfortune is another guy's opportunity. But it won't. To me, it won't take away from what we're trying to accomplish here with this basketball team.
You didn't mention Cook. Is he in that mix?
Cook as well, yeah. Cook. I'm sorry I didn't mention it, but yeah, Orlando Cook, absolutely. I think it gives him opportunity now and he's going to have an opportunity to play at home. So he's going to be really supercharged up. And he's been playing well. I thought he'd been playing well lately.
Also today, I guess the SEC, Barford was first team All-SEC, Macon second, and Gafford on the freshman team. Any comments on that?
Well, I'm happy for those guys, and I think it's, if you talk to any of those guys, it's because of what the team is doing. I think our team has really played well, throughout the whole year, and I think those guys are a big part of what we do. So I'm sure they say they share whatever kind of accolades that come. It comes because of the winning and how we're playing, the exciting brand of basketball we're playing. And so kudos to those guys for Barford, Macon, and Daniel, and well deserved. Those guys have had a really good non-conference and conference season, and let's see if we can parlay that into the postseason.
Yeah, Mike, I guess, on the coaches, Jalen was first team and Darryl was second team, but on the writers, Daryl was first team, Jalen was second team. I guess what does maybe say about what a good pair those guys are? And I don't know, they're not exactly interchangeable. I know they have different games, but just what does that say about how important each guy was? That one's first team and one's second team, and then you flip it, and one's the other guy's the first teamer.
I think the biggest statement is that obviously they came here from junior college. They were really heralded guys. I mean, they're junior college All-Americans, and it took them a year to get their footing in terms of making that impact. Last year I thought they did impact it, but even more so this year because they were in different roles. But they were on nobody preseason pick. That's why I say it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. So that's a tribute to those guys, what they did in off season, and to formulate, which I think is one of the best backcourts, in the country, not only the SEC but in the country. And then you put a guy like Beard in there who complements those guys. So it's a tribute to those guys and what they bring to the table. I think they've gotten better, they developed, they've gotten better, and still there's room to improve. But it's good to see that that the coaches, the writers kind of recognize, what these guys have, how these guys are playing, how they performed this year. It's to me, that's confirmation on what we're doing.
And I have to look up and see exactly what Daryl said. But at me today in Nashville, he said something to the effect of, we're going to show people. Wait till the end of the year, and obviously he was right. Do you think that sort of was a motivating thing that they got snubbed at preseason media day?
I think those guys are confident in who they are. They think they're really good basketball players. I mean, most guys do. Bob, I think I'm a hell of a player too, But at the end of the day, I think that's those individuals. That's how they feel, and I think that's motivates you to be the player you can be. And so again, and I hope it ain't the end. Just to make all conference, I don't think that's just the end for these guys.
In your statement yesterday, you just said a violation of team policy for the release of Thomas. He was issued a citation for a marijuana possession back on February 9th. When were you made aware of that, and how did that impact your decision to release him from the team?
I made my statement, and I'm not even, as I said, I've already talked about that. So let's move forward. Next question.
Mike, I should have added this up, but Arkansas is obviously, this is the 27th year, I think, in the SEC, so that's a lot of tournament games. You've been part of more of those between being an assistant coach and head coach, I guess, than anybody. Just kind of what are your thoughts, memories of the SEC tournament? Kind of what's it meant to you over the years?
I think it's a spectacular event. I mean, especially back in the early days, it was played at the Georgia Dome. 30-some-odd thousand people there, and obviously we had a strong contingent of Razorback fans there. And so I'm talking to the Razorback fans. I want to see you in St. Louis. But to me, it was a happening. The SEC tournament was a great, great happening. When you talk about the teams that were in it, the type of players that were in it, and I think right now, with the way these teams are this year, it's going to be even more exciting tournament. And why I say that, because you can say this team here will win it, that team will win it, whoever gets hot at the right time. But again, the great coaches that coached in it. And then not only that, what's at stake? That to me is the culmination of it. What is at stake? The automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And we're one of the last teams that, actually, when we finish up our tournament, I think we're one of the last teams that finishes on the Sunday. So there's a lot of excitement. The memories I have, especially in the Atlanta, we used to stay at the Hilton or the Hyatt or whatever, but all the fans there, whether it be Kentucky fans, Auburn fans, all of them kind of conjure up, and they got their area over there, we got our area over there. It's a great setting, great sporting event, and again, it's a culmination of a long conference race, and now all of a sudden teams are pitted upon each other in a one-game setting. So,
what do you remember about winning it all in 2000?
I just remember we played all the ranked teams. It seemed like we just got hot. I mean, that's the year I think Joe Johnson became eligible at semester, and we kind of rolled his back. I mean, it was 4 games in 4 days, and our guys rose to the occasion. And each and every game, I think our guys got better. The confidence grew in that setting. And I keep saying that our teams are built for this type of season. I mean, this type of year because of the depth. If I think back on that 2000 team, it was 2000 we won it. That's how long it's been. And so, but those teams, because of the depth, I thought it was a big, big difference. We played some great, great teams going down there. The Auburn team that was ranked, the LSU team with Stromeyer, Swift, and that bunch there. I mean, it was some good basketball.
Go ahead.
C.J. Jones, and is he going to be full go this week?
C.J. practiced yesterday, and he was. I mean, he didn't say much about it. I think he got treatment on his knee. He may have sprained it a little bit, but he'll be available. He'll be ready to play.
Mike, I know you talked about Daniel a lot this year, but just maybe expound a little bit on the season he had and the freshman honors he got.
Oh, Daniel is a very unique player. When you talk about a 6'8" guy that when he came in here, I think he weighed maybe 220, 215, something like that. There, he put on like 20 pounds, and not only that. I think getting in that strength in the weight room with Adam Petway, our strength and conditioning guy this summer, was big for him. And having a chance to come up here and just get acclimated, go against guys his size each and every day. But the jump he's made has been tremendous, and that's a tribute to Daniel. That's a tribute to our coaching staff. Really, and I wanted him to go at his own pace, and we see what his pace is. There was no pressure on him coming in and being the savior, but I just think as this season has unfolded, he's gotten better and just being comfortable out there on the floor, catching the ball in the post with space. He's making plays happen. He can run the floor. He can block the shot on one end. He can get on the other floor and finish. He's a great rebounder. Rebounds above the rim. I mean, just very, very active. And I think he's a humble kid. He's a humble kid that's continued to work and wants to be a great player. But I can't say enough about him. And the thing about it is, Bob, he still got a lot of his best basketball is in front of him. But again, he had a very, very good year. Very, very good year. And I don't think he's finished yet. He's one of the top shot blockers in our league and possibly in the country. But at 6'11", that's athletic as he is. I mean, he's very, very unique.
Going into this tournament, your first game, you don't know who you're going to play till about 24 hours before. How do you handle that, and how do you prepare?
Well, we always talk about what we do. I mean, as we throughout this year, we don't just prepare for one particular team. We're preparing for everyone each and every day we go out. So the things that we do, we're preparing for, whether it be South Carolina, we're also preparing for Ole Miss. Whether it be Kentucky, we're always preparing for them. I just think when you know who you're playing, then you got extra preparation. But we're more worried about ourselves right now in terms of how we can get better. How can we stop having, we want to have the 12-2 runs and not let people have 12-2 runs on us. And part of that is we got to be a better rebounding team, better defensive team, and finishing out on rebound and be consistent in that department. How can our bench continue to play well? Who are the guys going to step up for us as we step into the tournament with one less guy? So I just see a lot of opportunities. But more importantly, it's about us. It ain't about the teams we're going to play. It's about us.
Last one right here, Nate.
Just for the Missouri game, looking back on the fouling, was there anything that the tape showed that y'all were doing or that y'all can adjust to for the officiating?
I mean, I think there are times we played with our hands as opposed to moving our feet. I think we were late on rotations, and then some of them, some of those calls were probably questionable. They shot a lot of free throws, I know that, but I think we can do a better job of really being in position to see man and ball and get our rotation a lot crisper. And limit the offensive rebounds. And there were some times where they got offensive rebounds where we got to put a body on a body, and we've been really, really good about that. And so we got to carry out those assignments, especially in this kind of setting. A lot of teams will, as they're winding down, a lot of teams are, wearing down. They don't shoot the ball well. So their MO is to throw it up there and go get it. And so we got to make sure that we put body on body, come up with it, and let's get the ball up and down the floor. I always say I want to turn up the intensity. I want to turn up, the attack mode. And but I think defensively we got to move our feet and not necessarily our hands.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.